In this video, we are going to modify string tracker program from the previous exercise to read and write the state using a text file. Before writing the solution, I will first show what the program is supposed to do in case you want to try writing your own solution. So for this exercise, you're going to need a text file. You can see my text file here, it's the word list.txt. And once you run the program having this text file as a parameter, you will see the following. It will first show the contents of the text file. It will read the text file and show the contents in this array. And if you select add string and then add something like new entry, you can see the text file updates. And if you remove something, let's remove second entry, then it removes it. And the third option quits the program. I will now show one possible solution for this exercise. Before watching, I would recommend you first try to do it yourself, or at least think about it for a moment. So here we have our existing string tracker program from the previous exercise as a base. We will start modifying the parameter the script takes. It's now going to be file path, and it's not going to take a list anymore. In any situation, we will remove the list completely and just use these file paths, and we will use a lowercase letter for a parameter here. Now let's add something like current state or something like that before we print the contents of the file as a list. So how do we do that? We will read the file, with built-in prelude read file function. And then we just print using the lines function. It automatically converts rows from the file as a list. Like that. This is the first part. Then we go to our first case. And now before we can append to the list, we need to use the list that we just read from the file. So let's make it old list. Fix typo from here. Current list, yes. And here change it to the old list. Now we don't want to print anything on screen anymore, even though we could just leave it there, it would work just fine. But instead we want to write the new state to our file. We will use prelude write file function, which takes path as a parameter, and then of course what we wish to write to the list. And unlines, it's pretty much the opposite of lines. It will well, it's actually not. Unlines, it takes a list as a parameter and makes it as a string. And again we will then call our string tracker with file path. That's the second part done. We only have one more left, and we actually do this the exact same way. We will be copying code, which you should not do, but we shall just ignore that right now. We just want to make it work. Yeah, yes, it's the exact same commands, and here we will be using file path. No, we will be using old list, from which we remove what we don't want. We will print nothing, instead we just write it to the file. And then once again we will call string tracker with file path. And do we have to update something more? Yes, here also file path. Okay, then let's see if it works and how many typos or mistakes I made. At least loads. Okay, it starts current state. Yes, let's try adding something. Okay, there still is that. I always make that same mistake. The UI doesn't make the new line in the end. Well, we will fix that after we check the functionality. So I have 2 new entries. Let's make like 4th entry. Does it add? Yes, and then let's remove one of the new entries. Actually, I believe it will remove both of them, but yes, it removed both of them. Okay, anyways, it works. Let's fix this one mistake so it adds a new line at the end of the selection. Yeah, here it's the same mistake. I didn't save it last time I fixed this. Okay, now finally it works. Maybe not the best possible solution, but at least one possible solution. I hope this video was helpful, and see you in the next one.